Welcome everybody to Mindset Monday, your source for getting you to where you want to be the week and getting motivated for the week, for you and your team. Today we're going to talk about people that get stuck in their business. They can't move forward because they get stuck in the same position. Andy's an expert at working with people through business coaching in areas like this to get them to the next level in their business. So Andy, where do you see people getting stuck the most in business?
Yeah, well, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, at the end of the day, we're all predisposed to have a resistance to change because same is safe. So if we stay where we are, then we know what we're going to get. The point is, though, if we want to improve our results, then stuff by definition has to change. So what is it that causes us to stay where we are or move? Well, the first thing is we talked about this resistance to change. And we all are, whether we like it or not. So if you imagine that on one side of an equation, on the other side has to be something heavier than it to overcome that resistance to cause us to want to change in the first place. So we talk about the formula for change, and the formula for change is this: dissatisfaction times vision. And if you notice, that's a product. So there's leverage there because we're multiplying dissatisfaction times vision. Plus first steps has got to be greater than resistance. So essentially what I find with a lot of people is they might be dissatisfied, but they have no vision as to how things could be different.
Interesting, yeah.
So if you were to score those, you might have a 10 on dissatisfaction, but a 0 on vision. And I've said it's a product, so 10 times 0 is 0, which means we won't change.
That's right, yeah.
Might have lots of vision, but not be dissatisfied. And so the same is true, if we're not dissatisfied, low score in dissatisfaction, high score on vision, it doesn't matter. It's very unlikely to cause change because we're not dissatisfied enough.
It's interesting you say this as well, because like that whole topic of resistance to change, we read about it a lot, especially in the academic journals as well. It's always talking about resistance to change all the time, and it's not just as the entrepreneur or the business owner that's having that challenge. It's also the people within the business. So there's like a double challenge there as well in culture, resistance to change when it comes to culture. How do you change the culture that has been around for 10, 20, 30 years?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
And I think it goes wider than just business as well. This is about life, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, we want to play our life safely, most of us. So it's safe to play it as we do because we know what that looks like. But if I give you an example from my life, I lived in Germany for 4 years, and I like bratwurst and I like German beer. So you can imagine what happened over a period of time, can't you? Let's call it executive spread, or just getting a little bit more rotund, or whatever you want to call it. Executive spread, absolutely. So in other words, the waist measurement starts to increase over a period of time, and it's very easy to make excuses about that, isn't it? Because I'm just getting a bit older and I don't have as much time anymore because I've got young kids and all that kind of stuff. Don't have time to do the exercise, all that stuff. So at the end of the day, my resistance to change is quite high. My dissatisfaction might be growing, but it's growing slowly and it's not growing fast enough because my resistance is I've got not enough time, I've got young kids, I like beer, I like bratwurst.
And then one day the dissatisfaction catches up on you. You look in the mirror one day and you realise, I need to do something about this.
Absolutely.
So that's when
absolutely,
it works really well.
How far are you going to take your business? The content you're learning in this video is only the tip of the iceberg. If you're ready to take your business to the next level and start implementing the right strategies that are right for you, then now is the time to book your complimentary coaching session. In the session, we explore what strategies will get you to where you want to be in the most effective way possible. Book your coaching session today. Call 01527 757 910 or visit goodtogreat.actioncoach.co.uk.
Welcome back, guys. You're watching Mindset Monday, and today we're talking about why you're getting stuck in business and the sort of resistance you get when you start to add new change. So Andy's talked about the formula for change, and he's going to go into a little bit more about that now and use some examples. Tell us some examples then, Andy, of some business coaching clients, without mentioning any names, some of the examples though that you've come across where they've had a lot of challenges with change.
Yeah, I think the great example would be, picking up a good business. And what I mean by a good business is, it's growing, it's already making money, And in a lot of cases, the owner has sort of fallen out of love with the business a bit because they're in that stage of growth, just the growth stage. So, you know, they've gone through the away from pain, and the away from pain stage is let's just make enough money so that we can pay all the bills and pay ourselves what we want to do. And now, you know, not all the fear has gone necessarily, but there's nothing to make you sort of fly forward, if you like, because you don't have to anymore. So the dissatisfaction may be high, if you like, because you got a bit bored, you're feeling a bit burnt out, you've been growing the business for a couple of years,
going round in circles,
absolutely,
same year over again.
Absolutely. The vision probably isn't high because, you know, you've got to where you wanted to get to, you've got a decent standard of life, you've got there's nothing going wrong. So high level of dissatisfaction, boredom, low level of vision, it's okay, I don't need it to be any different, no change required. And the biggest thing that leads to is burnout, because people just get, you know, tired of their business. And why wouldn't you if there was nothing to strive forward for? So, you know, for me the biggest thing there is about how do you reignite that vision and make it about something bigger than yourself.
Interesting. Something that you've just mentioned there is that this is important to realise that you're not always dissatisfied, and you don't always have a high vision as well.
That's right.
So it's always fluctuating. It's not just like this is it, I'm really dissatisfied and I've got a high vision. You can go and hang around different people, and that person can inspire you, and you're feeling the moment thinking, wow, that's what's possible.
Yeah.
And you have all these great ideas.
Yeah.
And then the next day you'll go to work and just go straight back into the office, back to the same sort of state of, no, you're not dissatisfied anymore, you haven't got much vision anymore.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it's Jim Rohn, isn't it, that talks about you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
That's right.
And I think that's a real big thing for pushing people's vision, and especially something that we do in business coaching as well, is to keep that vision up there and making sure that you're taking the right steps, coaching you and keeping you accountable to what you said when you first met Andy.
Absolutely, you know, and if the vision is so big that it inspires you and scares you, then and excites you, how big is the level of dissatisfaction going to be now that you're not there? So, you know, you can almost create dissatisfaction by building a big vision, because you're not there right now. So just a really interesting way to manufacture that necessity to create change.
Interesting. And don't forget, guys, if you don't do something different, then you're always going to be in the same position. And, you know, I was talking this morning about competitors as well. There's always new innovation and new technology and new competitors coming about as well. They're always going to be trying to take over the game as well. Okay, guys, that's Mindset Monday. Stay tuned for Friday review at the end of the week. So we'll catch you then for more business tips and advice and what Andy's been talking about in coaching sessions in the week. Have a good week.